Was it like coming back and coming back to where?
Oh man, it was kind of surreal coming back, seeing all the new facilities and things and such like that. It was pretty big time. I mean, it was something that I always watched from afar, always watching the guys from afar, and I knew at any given opportunity that it was a right fit. I would love to be able to come back and give back to the university that gave me so much.
Did you try to come back before? Were there any opportunities? Or?
Well, there was always some talks here and there, but it was never really a real true opportunity, being that how this contract stuff and all that kind of stuff goes. So, it just worked out where it was a perfect timing and it was a perfect storm.
You're a West Coast guy too, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, so how is I guess the coming back part? I mean, how much did you kind of maybe help some of these coaches along to what to expect here?
Well, they were kind of getting acclimated before me. So me being the last full-time hire, I came in and it just kind of, brought the energy and bringing what being a Spartan dog means and all that type of stuff. Obviously going along with Coach Hawk here, so we just kind of showing the guys the old ways of how we used to do things and kind of mixing it with the new ways.
Did you always want to be a coach?
Yes, I think that was I'm God chosen for that. I mean, I couldn't see myself doing too much other than that, coaching. That's my life, and I love it. Yeah.
What were your impressions of Jonathan Smith's program out there at Oregon State that you got to see, and was that at all part of the calculation to come work for him?
Oh, yes. Well, Coach Smith and I are born and raised from the same city. Mm-hmm. We're both born and raised in Pasadena, California, so we go back. We just never got a chance to really coach with each other. Now coaching against him and recruiting against him. Quick story, he's been at my home. He's recruited my younger brother when he was at the University of Idaho. So, we always had connection there, and so it was easy for me, knowing Coach Smith and his history of being a real family guy, real business orientated. He's a guy that's always 3 steps ahead in whatever he's doing. So he's always been known like that. So going against him at Oregon State just as recently, it was always a big game plan week. You know what I'm saying? He put a lot of stress on us as a defense. So
you coached about half the Pac-12. What was it like? I mean, to see it come to an end like that, and I guess just the thoughts overall on your experience there and.
It was tremendous just to see a whole conference kind of crumble like that. Being that I had the opportunity to coach at 6 of the different places in the Pac-12 and just seeing it just kind of disintegrate in front of our eyes. So it was it didn't seem real until it happened. So it just happened to be that, this opportunity came. Like I said, it was a perfect storm at the right time.
I asked a bunch of the other assistants this, but how much does that background with Pac-12 teams help you guys in the new Big Ten?
Well, I think it'll help out tremendously. Just a different aspect on going to get those skill position guys that were in the Pac-12 that were highly noted and things of such like that. And then me being a West Coast guy that went to school here, now coaching here, it brings a little bit of added like, hey, it's okay to leave home for mama and come out here and ball out, that type of thing.
What about the room you inherited? Chance stepped up as a true freshman last year, and you got some other guys with experience. Just overall what you see.
No, I'm excited. This group is eager. They're willing to work. They want to be really good. So I'm happy at the situation that we're in. I mean, we're gonna obviously, like every program there is in the nation, we're gonna look to try to enhance the room always. But these guys that we got working here now, they're working their tails off, and they're getting better and better each day. So that's one thing I'm real proud of. I see these guys are growing every day.
Forgive me, was 94 or 95 your last year?
95.
95. So you got to go through the coaching change with Coach Perlis to Coach Saban. I guess, how did that work for you guys as a group back then, and how do you kind of apply those lessons now?
Well, pretty much, being with Coach GP, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying, it was big for him to come out to recruit me with Dino Felino, and all those guys came out to get me, Coach Charlie Baggett, all those guys were, recruiting me pretty hard. So when I got out here, Courtney Hawkins happened to be my host. He and Alan Haller were my hosts when I got here. So, that was pretty big time. And then when Coach Saban came in, Coach D'Antonio was my position coach. So me and Coach D'Antonio developed a really tight relationship, in amongst of those years. So it's awesome.
And those guys that you worked for as a player, I mean, with Nick and obviously with Mark, I mean, their defensive background, their defensive background in particular, I guess what things did you draw from them that you applied to your own coaching?
Oh wow, man, the attention to detail, things and such like that. Trusting in the preparation and then relying on technique. Those are some of the things that maybe as a young player I relied on athleticism a lot. And then when Coach Saban came in and Coach D'Antonio kind of honed me down, like, hey, calm down, let's walk down the hill and let's play all the routes instead of just running down and playing one of the routes. So, trusting in the preparation and relying on the technique, definitely.
So Charlie Baggett, he's still around here quite a bit. Foligno used to live around here recently. I don't know if he still does, and of course D'Antonio.
Yeah.
Have you seen those guys since?
Yeah, I got to see Coach D'Antonio. He came up and took a spin around, and we got to chop it up a little bit in the weight room and talk about it, and get to see each other. I've got a call from Coach Foligno. He's promised. Hopefully he's here this Saturday at the game. He said he was going to probably try to show up. And Coach Baggett, I've talked to him on the phone. So, I'm sure those guys are going to get around here at some point in time.
Probably a little different than some of the other new places that you've gone to in the past.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could definitely feel the home welcome warming. Here it's a great place and a great feeling to be appreciated and anticipated to help things get better.
Were you surprised how much things have changed downtown?
Oh, wow, so super impressed. I mean, just like surprised and kind of ventured on to like BJ's. Where's that? At the Eastwood Shopping Center or something like that or whatever. I'm like, whoa, none of this was over here. Like, wait a minute. Where's the 7-Eleven that was over here? Where's the Quality Dairy at? Stuff has gone and moved around and everything. So it's been great.
Like you said, you couldn't really control things necessarily, but would this, if you wouldn't have been able to come back and coach here, would that have felt like a box on check to you? Or was it a goal, I guess? Maybe a better way to put it?
It was always a 1-2. It was always a 1-2. So, being at a 1-2, I guess you can consider it. It was a goal, but it was always knew that if the opportunity didn't come, it wasn't meant. So now when the opportunity came, and I called this like 12 o'clock, like, man, it's the perfect time, perfect storm.
What's your relationship coaching with Blue like, and you guys splitting up the same day? I guess, how does that work?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's kind of like we mix and match. I mean, Blue coaches all positions, and I coach all positions. So getting the knowledge from him, from knowing that he's been working with Coach Smith a long time, and knowing what Coach Smith expects and things and such like that, he's just a knowledge well for me. So I just kind of dig in his back pocket, and he digs in my back pocket, and we kind of trade ideas and trade techniques, because I used to go against him a lot, as far as in recruiting and on the field and those type of things. So he's put out a ton of DBs, and I like to keep that thing going here.
How important is it for this program right now with the changeover to have you and Courtney in the background within what the history of the program was?
I think it's very important because, as the longer you get away, the more some kids think that they can just inherit it. So like when we say with Spartan dogs, it's like, hey, it's some stuff we had to go through to become or consider Spartan dogs. So those type of things like that, just showing the kids the way and how to do it and how to work through adversity and that type of thing is how we did it in the past compared to how you can do things now, and we're trying to mesh it together.
When was the last time you were in East Lansing before you took the job?
Probably when I graduated.
Oh yeah?
Wow. Yeah. I did come back to Detroit for recruiting purposes at other places that I worked, but I never got to East Lansing. It was always Detroit for a day and then fly back out.
Just a little brick building here when you were...
Man, the Duffy. We remember sleeping on the floor here 2 days and things and stuff like that. And we don't even have 2. When was the last time we had 2 days? That type of thing. So, it's... look at this place, man. Come on. It rivals any other university or program out there.
We think about Joe Rossi, and he's new to Jonathan Smith as well, and then you're new to him. Just what's that process been like learning him?
I mean, it's great. Young, energetic, very smart. Knows his scheme really well. He knows where all the hidden bones are in his scheme, so that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So confident to learn his scheme inside and outside, all the little nuances, and get after it.
How much last year were you able to kind of follow what was going on here and like? I think you had an overlap with Harlan as a player, right?
Well, he was leaving out when I was coming in.
So obviously it was a tough spot for him to be in.
Yeah, no doubt. And I've talked to HB many times in recruiting. He's trying to get information from me. As you know, the coaching network is a small network, so you always reach out to your guys that you know and that you could trust. So he might have been recruiting a guy from the West Coast, and hey, meet, what's up with this guy at such and such a school? And we would trade ideas and things such like that. So yeah. It was pretty hard, but I'm glad he landed on his feet. Yeah, definitely.
Who are some of the guys that you would If you had to start the season right now, I guess who are some of the guys you're leaning on at corner that you think can?
Well, right now for spring, it's really hard to say because of spring ball and everybody's learning a new defense and things and such like that. I will hold pause on that answer until we got the new guys in, the freshmen coming in and things and such like that. And it's the wild NCAA with the portal stuff. So we don't know how it's going to be. So I hold pause until we get to fall camp and we got a full team.
But what I guess, big picture, this the secondary used to be a source of pride for this program, and pass defense obviously just kind of fell off in recent years. I guess what's the outlook as a group and wanting to kind of restore that? Yeah, well, that is the goal, to restore that level of excellence in the back end. And so we want to cover guys, and we're going to hit guys, and we're going to run around and have a lot of fun doing it. So we got to get the guys in to do that.
What do you like about Rossi's scheme?
I like the multiple, how we can do multiple things. I mean, we play a lot of everything. So we play some match quarters and 2 and 3 and 1, just like everybody else. But the way he does it, he keeps it really simple. So I call it like a free agent friendly defense. So with the age of the portal and all that kind of stuff, when new guys come in, it won't take that much to get them caught up to speed within the scheme.
I'm wondering what Saturday was like for you walking out through the tunnel again.
Man, it was surreal because I hadn't been. First of all, I'd never been on the field since I left, and then getting on the field and it's grass. I'm like, oh wow, man, look at this. You know what I'm saying? So it was big time, man. Beautiful. I can't wait till we get the fans in there. What we standing on now, just color green. Yeah,
that's the stuff you guys went through that those guys don't understand.
Exactly right, Spartan dogs. Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned the Wild West and just kind of where college sports are right now with the transfer portal and stuff. How difficult is it as a coach, recruiting guys and trying to get them to buy in and stay when there is so much flexibility in what they have so much control in what they want to do, I guess? Yeah,
well, it is very difficult. I haven't got my fist around the chat all the way and got it controlled, but it still kind of revert back to the same things what we came up under. So, it's developing relationships and, getting those kids to know you, getting to know their families and things and such like that, and then working through all the brand new obstacles after that point. So the starting points are still the same. It's just a couple added finishing points that we got to knock out to get guys landed.
I would assume it's probably difficult to be what Jonathan says, a developmental program in this era when you don't know how long guy might be there. Yeah, exactly. It's tough. It's tough. So, I'm like dog paddling. I'm just trying to stay above water and win the next day. A lot of people are. Yep.
Looking towards this Saturday, as a former player and now coming back as a coach, what are you excited for, and then what are you hoping to see out of your guys this weekend?
Like I said, I want to see them out there having a big time trust in our preparation. So the preparation that we did building up to this Saturday, I want them to trust that preparation and then get into it using their technique. And so if we can do the things that we're supposed to do by just trusting our technique, that'll be a big accomplishment for us. Because eyes, feet, hips, hands, and all that kind of stuff. Those are the things I've been harping on, trying to get cleaned up with the guys in the back end, and they've been doing a good job of doing it day by day. Now game day, fans in the stadium is kind of let the leashes off and see how you do it. I'm hoping to see that they continue to keep getting better.
Got any good stories about going one-on-one with Courtney?
Well, when I was here with Courtney, we both played receiver.
Oh, that's right. You came in as a receiver.
I came in as a receiver, so he was lucky. So he was lucky. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, let's Coach Hawk when he comes
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.